Welcome to the 411 podcast. Tonight, it's freestyle sessions, and that's just what we doing. Freestyling it up, just talking, vibing. If you want to talk to me, you can request me live on Instagram. You can also request me live on TikTok, and you can text me at 609-738-0611. Speaking of texting, 609-738-0611. Get that pre-order link. My new book, My Inspirations, Volume 1.5, The Liberation Remix Journal, a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. Text the keyword remix to 609-738-0611. I want to give a shout out to K. Cole. I know you out there doing your thing, but thank you so much for your support on my new project. So now, song of the day. I know we're on this Christmas stuff, but Carl Thomas almost had me stuck. I almost didn't make it here on time. Carl Thomas, first album. I'm getting these vibes. I don't know what it is, but I have these Carl Thomas vibes. But anyway, that's not even a song of the day. I just wanted to throw that in there and give a shout out to Mr. Carl Thomas. But song of the day is Christmas Fantasy by Anita Baker, released in 2005 off of the title Christmas Fantasy, Anita Baker, 2005. So I've been doing this Christmas songs ever since December 1st. Here we is, the 10th right now. So we're on our 10th Christmas song. So what's your favorite Christmas song? What are you listening to right now? If you're even listening to Christmas music. There are so many great artists out there, so many different renditions of this song, that song. I think this Christmas has been remade over plenty of times. But yeah, I feel like it keeps getting better and better. You know, this Christmas, you always know that joint right there. But people who've remade this Christmas that I like, Drew Hill, I love their version of it. Of course, Chris Brown, Mary J. Blige, which, love the Queen. The Temptations, they got one that'll make you, move a little bit. So this Christmas has been remade over by so many different people. What is your favorite version? What's your favorite artist? And of course, the original Donny Hathaway. So I got like 5 right there that I know of, and so many other artists, have recreated that song this Christmas. My favorite versions: Drew Hill, Chris Brown, Mary J. Blige, The Temptations, and of course the original. So, what's your favorite rendition of this Christmas or Christmas music in general? Now, I have to give a very special shout out to everybody out there who supports you on Facebook. Thank you. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, DLive, Twitch. Thank you so much to everybody out there watching the replays. I mean, I know we out here at 10 o'clock every night, and, some people just can't, catch it live. But I definitely do appreciate the people out there who watch the replays. Thank you so much for that. Last night, we had a very special guest, Liz Bullard, from Coffee and Combos with Liz, the podcast. We had some great chemistry yesterday, so it was real. It really was. So a very special shout out to Liz. Also, It's All in the Cars with Kathy. Thank you for supporting. Jason T. Davis from Los Angeles. I just want to say take some time to say thank you as well, because you come out here and you support the 411 podcast every night. And I just want to say thank you so much for that. What's going on, Bethany? How are you? I was just speaking of Cali. I wonder how the weather is out there. But you come out here and you support every single time. And I just want to say thank you so much for just being consistent when it comes to the 411 podcast. Gina Hassan, Leah, Vibes by Royale, thank you so much. I mean, your response to my burning question last night was real deep. So, I thank you for sharing, your story. Thank you to everybody who comes on here and shares their story and opens up. That's what it's about. And I feel, very grateful that, I have a platform for people to be able to come here and be themselves and be real. And that's what it's about. For all of the true 411 podcast listeners out there, that's exactly what it's about. And we're going to get more real, as time goes on. Definitely for the new year, we're going to get super real. And that's what it's about. Man, it's cold. And who knew that it would be cold in California? Somebody like me over here, we don't know anything about that. All we know is palm trees and sun and the fun. And it's cold. That's crazy. Now, is it like that every year, or did it just all of a sudden switch up, or you in that part that is just cold in general? Craziness. But yeah, they got skiing and all kinds of stuff in certain places. Um, what is that? I'm probably all off, but what is that? Lake Tahoe, all that stuff over there in the wintertime, to be skiing and or whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's right. Um, Candle Boutique and Co. Thank you so much. Y'all go ahead and support Coco Divas Lip Gloss. Thank you for coming through. And of course, I said it again, Karma's Paradise. You can get an autographed copy of my book, My Inspirations Volume 1.5 Deliberation. You can get an autographed copy. It will come with a poster. You will also get an ebook version of my first book, as well as an exclusive t-shirt, which has been crafted by the CEO of Karma's Paradise. Just click that link above all of my social media platforms and click on Karma's Paradise exclusive, and you'll be able to get your copy of my book, Volume 1.5, before anybody else does, which it is releasing next month on the 3rd. So we got a couple more weeks. I think it's like 2 weeks. Somebody said 2 weeks until the release of my new project. Miss Rebel Jewel, thank you for coming through. I want to spend some time thanking you too. Rebel Jewel, all the way from the UK, along with Sophie Davis. Thank you for taking some time to support and teach and lend, your knowledge to somebody like me. I mean, so many times I reached out, within this past year, like this happened, that happened. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? And you took the time to respond and go back and forth. So you got a great empire. And I just want to say thank you as well for supporting somebody like me. And Dr. Stephen Bond, you've been showing up consistently as well. I've been seeing you around here quite often. So I just want to say thank you so much. Y'all go ahead and support Dr. Stephen Bond on Instagram and check out his book as well. He was on Reading Between the Wines a while back as well. Freestyle sessions tonight. We getting ready to go through these burning questions. Elite Jules VIP Lounge. What's going on? Thank you for joining. Anybody out there on TikTok? I can't really see who's out there, but I just want to say what's up. Anybody watching a replay, thank you so much. If you're out there, go ahead and tag your friends. Let them know what we got going on inside of this great 411 podcast. So now, the question that I asked last night, and I said Vibes by Royale, you gave your response, which, only thing I can say is I understand, I feel exactly where you're coming from. But the question was, what is the one thing from your past that continues to haunt you today? It could be whatever. What is that one thing from your past that continues to haunt you to this day. A lot of us may have not made the right decisions back in the day. And it could be some things from the past that haunts us. Like maybe you didn't really want to end a relationship, but you did. Maybe you didn't want to leave your job, but you did. And that decision kind of haunts you still to this day. You know, maybe you had a situation with a friend and you said something that you shouldn't have said to a loved one. And that decision marked and changed the course or the path of your life. And because of that, it might still haunt you to this day. So, what is one thing from your past that still continues to haunt you to this day? I shared with Liz yesterday some of the things that haunt me to this day is some of the stupid decisions that I made in the past. And not so much with people, but stupid decisions financially, businesses that I started or got into or didn't, and it wasn't the right thing to do at the right time. I mean, it worked well for the moment, but I would say some financial decisions that I made in the past continue to bother me. I think everything is aligned and it's supposed to be exactly the way it's supposed to be. I just have to get over it. Like, I just got to get over it. Like, the stars are aligned a certain way. This person comes into your life for a certain reason and a season. You might start this business venture, but it's only supposed to last you for X amount of time, and it's to teach you a lesson. You got to deal with it. So when I say things that haunt you from the past, what's going on? How you doing out there on TikTok? Yes, of course, we can say it still haunts us, but honestly, we have to learn how to forgive and forgive ourselves and move on. So I can come out of both sides of it when it comes to that, but the one thing that still haunts you from the past, it's cool to say that it still haunts you for a minute, but then after a while, you gotta say, okay, enough of this. Like, I can't continue to beat myself up over some of the poor decisions that I made in the past. I gotta accept it and move on. But for real, everything that we do today is going to show up, later on down the road, just like what we're living in right here, right now. Just think about the situation that you are living in right now. And what you have to say is, damn, something that I did in the past led me to right here, to where I'm at today. So now I'm very cautious because certain aspects of where I'm at right now I like, but then there's also some other aspects that I don't like. So I'm like, all right, now remember, remember this shit that you're going through right now. You did some things in the past that led up to this. So now if you want something bigger and better and greater in the future, man, you need to watch how you stick and move with some of these people. You need to understand what's going on. You know, some people might have some hidden agendas, which I write about anyway. But what's going on, Gina? How you doing? Philly is in the house. People have some hidden agendas and stuff. So for me, I got to make sure I watch my heart. And I got to cover my mind and make sure that nobody, infiltrates and get into my system and corrupt. And next thing you know, I'll be on here spewing out some bad energy and some hate because of some nonsense that I've allowed to come into my mental space. So that's a whole nother story. And I'm gonna get into that, next year when I start talking about, transforming your mind and becoming a master of your own mind. You really have to. You really gotta. What's going on? How you doing out there? So anybody out there, you can request me live. Go ahead and hit that button and request me live on Instagram. It's freestyle sessions tonight on a 411 podcast. And if you do not want to be seen, you can always text me at 609-738-0611 and I will go ahead and pull you up on the phone. But yeah, I'm just going through these burning questions week that we've had and just revisiting some of these questions. Now, this is one thing that bothers me because I've been linked to a few people who have lied, and a couple people I've been linked to, they almost did it as a sport. Like, everything that comes out of your mouth after a while is a lie, and I need to understand what's going on. So I was actually linked to one person that truly, I believe, had a problem. Like almost borderline needed to take medication for, probably was taking medication for split personalities or whatever. That's a whole nother story too, because I had to speak to y'all about back in the day. You don't know who you're dealing with until you know what I'm saying? You really don't know who you're dealing with. And it takes a long, 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 long time. And did I say a long, 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 long time before you really understand the person that you're truly with? You think you might know who you with. You might have been with them for, I could say 4, 5, 6. Hell, sometimes it's been 10 years and you still don't even know who you with. You got to watch. But when you do your investigation, now I know I'm probably saying some wrong stuff that I shouldn't say, and you're supposed to just sit still and not go looking for stuff. And they always say that when you go looking for something, you're going to find something. My response is, I don't like that. When you go looking for something, you're going to find something. My question is, all right, yes, I went looking and I found something, but what the hell was it there for in the first place? If everything cool, you know, and we supposed to be rocking like this and ain't no issues and I'm supposed to be trusting you, whatever. I just don't trust people that easy, especially not these days. But if I'm looking for something, man, I shouldn't be able to find anything. And that was my thing that I always used to say. Don't sit here and throw that thing on me like, oh, don't go looking, because if you go looking for find something, let me look, right? Let me look. But check this out. When I look, I want to look like a fool at the end because I don't want to find nothing. Like, you should be sitting there smiling and laughing. You shouldn't be sweating. You shouldn't be having no issues. You should be like, all right, I'm going to just go ahead and let him be a fool. Yeah, let me go looking for everything. And then after a while, if I keep looking for something and ain't nothing there, I'm going to be like, all right, we cool. But now if you want to start turning different colors and you know the color of your skin is like my skin, you turn in different colors after I'm starting to look through your cell phone and you trying to like, we got an issue now because I'm trying to go through the cell phone, which I shouldn't do it anyway. I understand that I shouldn't have. But if I'm trying to go through the cell phone and now you having an issue and now we got to be going back and forth, something ain't right. Something is not right. What's going on, Mr. Robert Stubblefield is in the building. So it's freestyle sessions tonight, and we just doing it up, burning questions. And if you'd like to talk to me tonight, you can go ahead and text me at 609-738-0611, and I'll pull you up on the phone. Or you can request me live on Instagram, and you can request me live on TikTok as well. But yeah, I'm just doing it on a tangent, going off, talking the stuff that I talk here. But when people lie, they might be habitual liars. Do you think that they can help it, or is it a sickness? And I say, depending on the situation and the person, it might be a sickness, it might be an illness. I don't know what it is, but some people might just lie just because. And then afterwards, maybe they might feel sorry for it. Maybe they might try to go back and retract things and fix things. But once you tell a lie, you got to tell another lie to cover up that lie and cover up that lie and cover up that lie. Man, listen, I remember one time somebody said, do you remember when we went to the movies? And I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't remember when we went to the movies and saw that movie. Hell, this is my first time checking it out on, TV. What you mean? And then they tried to remind me about how I was at a movie that I never saw before. Red flags. When those red flags come up, man, we supposed to listen. We're supposed to listen and check those things out. But I do feel that people who get caught up into it, and maybe it's something that stems from, childhood experiences. I think it's different when an adult just flips and starts lying. But when you've been lying ever since you were a child and it just becomes in you and embedded in you, man, I believe that it's hard to break that thing. So teach your children, and you got to teach them the right way and bring them up when they're young. Don't let them get away with that lying shit. There has to be some harsh, harsh, harsh consequences for when a child lies. And I believe that because when you just go ahead and let that shit slide, you are actually creating a monster. And who knows what kind of hell and havoc and drama that person's going to grow up and to create when they get older. Now, there are those parents, man, where you break your back and you do everything. And I mean, and you do everything to try to raise your child the right way, but they've just been like, a demon child or a demon seed or something from hell. I feel sorry for those parents too. Like, that's terrible when they are like that. Kids grow up, they break their back, they do everything, and the child is just jacked up. I mean, that's rough. I've seen it. So, narcissists. Um, Talk to me a little bit more about that. I have to tell you that I was once called a narcissist before, and it kind of messed me up for a while because I actually believe what somebody said when it comes to, being a narcissist. Now, I don't know, maybe if I was before. I used to tell everybody, how my past was with me going off and screaming at people and needing to have things my way and do it my way or the highway. Maybe that version might have been a narcissist, I guess. But the reason why I did that was not because I wanted things to be my way just because, it was me trying to help people along the way and trying to teach them and show them certain things. And when they didn't listen or didn't go my way, then I became angry and had an issue. But it was all out of love of me trying to help you. For example, if you come and ask me for money, my first reaction is going to be like, all right, I need to check and see what's going on here. Like, why? What's up with the money situation? Money don't go on trees, so what's good? So then I would try to tell people, okay, listen, this is how I save money and this is how I became successful. Maybe you should do the right thing. Not and that was wrong because I thought that my way was the right way. And then because of that, now you and I are going back and forth, but I'm trying to help you. Like, I don't get it. So it became that way of my aggression and my anger coming out because I'm trying to help people. And that's what used to get me up because it wasn't because I'm sitting here doing it because I want to have my chest sticking out and I want to, pound like I'm King Kong or something. No, I'm actually helping you. I'm actually giving you some knowledge and you just are in your own little way. But everybody has their right to do whatever. But that became, I guess, the foundation of me not having it together. Always trying to help somebody, always trying to bring somebody else up, always trying to do something. And then finally somebody said, no, you need to stop that. You need to stop stretching yourself so thin, going out there, giving yourself to these people that don't give, you know what I'm saying? They don't care. And I had to start looking in the mirror and then I had to learn how to do that self-love thing and say, yeah, that's right. Because this person didn't care. That person did care. And before all of that, who the hell are you to sit here and try to make somebody do anything? That was one of the biggest things that I had to learn. Stop trying to make people do things your way. They're not going to do it your way. And if the person don't want to do it your way, so be it. You have to learn how to understand and love it. And now I do today. I actually sit back and I watch people. I watch people. I've learned how to just sit back and watch and not say a word. I don't say nothing. Nothing at all. You want to live your life that way? You want to drive your car off a cliff? You want to do whatever? Do it. And I'm going to just sit back here in my corner because I know that I've taken care of Laren the best way that I know how. And no longer do I have the stress of taking care of myself. And now all of a sudden, oh my God, I got myself under control. Now I got to run over here and make sure that you're under control. And then I don't rest well until both of us are under control. And man, that's some crazy, man. I drive myself crazy. I got a hard enough time dealing with me. I can't take on anybody else's problems and anybody else's drama and anybody else's bullshit and anybody else's debt and anybody else's, childhood issues that they got. Hell, all of those things that I listed, I got all of that shit on my own. I can't be worried about yours. But I had to tell myself that. But yes, hopefully I'm saying your name right. You do have to forgive me with these names and everything. But Shanti says, I had to cut my kid. I don't understand what does AWF means for my sanity. What does AWF means? I guess off. I had to cut my kid off for my sanity. And you must be a Sagittarius. Yes, I am a Sagittarius. And know that there's a couple sides of being a Sagittarius. And I don't know how it happened. I guess I got to be thankful for it because there's two sides. There's a Sagittarius that's reckless. And the Sagittarius is just reckless. They have no self control. And they tend to be like the life of the party and blah, this, blah, 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 that. But a lot of it's fake. A lot of it's fake because they're just doing it just for attention and stuff like that. Um, and that's a reckless Sagittarius. And you got to be careful of those. I don't know which one or who, but it's Sagittarius, I believe they are just different. And they like to, they don't like routine. They like adventure. We don't like to stay still. I mean, we like routine to a certain extent, but after a while, we're going to be seeking for something different. So there's that one that's just always seeking for that something different and they have no balance, I guess. There you go. And they could be a little reckless. I'm so glad that I'm not that. I used to be reckless when it came to, you know, all of this stuff, spending and this and all of that. That's where my excitement came from. Um, Whenever I got bored or something, it's like, all right, fuck it. Let's just go ahead and go and spend some money and get some jewelry and clothes and shit like that. That's how it used to be. That's where my reckless stuff came from. Some Sagittarians, they get reckless from sexual experiences. That could be one. A whole bunch of other different things. Traveling. That's another situation too. I can tell you that I get kind of bored when I'm stuck in the same spot for too long. Man, I don't like that. Then there's also the other flip side of the Sagittarian that's, man, we got to check and balance every single thing. And we are so regimented and on a routine. And it has to be on point or there's going to be a problem. And I guess I'm more towards that. And I'm definitely in that. I'm definitely towards that. My birthday is actually tomorrow, so I don't know where that line's at, but because of that, it can get on your nerves. It can get on your nerves because you watch everybody else be reckless. I used to say to myself, man, I want to just fuck up. I just want to fuck up just like you. I used to say that to certain people. Like, you, man, you get away with all kinds of bullshit and you got all these people running around cleaning shit up after you, doing all kinds of shit for you. And here I am, the stand up person that has to get up and make sure everything's right because I won't be able to function right. My bills ain't paid. I ain't partying. Fuck that shit. I ain't going to no club. I ain't partying. I ain't twisting up nothing if my fucking bills ain't paid. But this one on this side, it's just like, fuck it. Let's go and spend all of our money before and we'll worry about it afterwards. Nah, my shit got to be right. If you see me somewhere in the club, like doing it up, my bills are paid. I ain't got shit to worry about because when I go home, I'm going to be able to rest my head and I ain't got a problem. I'm not that type of person that's up there doing it and flashing and buying shit and all in front of the camera and shit. And then now, you on the floor crying and asking God for forgiveness after you done fucked up. I'm definitely not that type of person. So, yeah, that's that whole my side of the Sagittarian thing. I don't get it, but I can be reckless whenever with certain things, but not everything. I guess I'm different. I don't know. And I always feel that nobody can relate to me like other Sagittarians. I feel like we never really could relate because we're not lined with the right one. This one is too reckless. This one is too this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Who knows? But anyway. So now, speaking of that, as we go ahead and get into that, I just talked about all of that stuff. But do you know anybody who has been, reckless, maybe made some poor decisions in their life, and they always seem to blame somebody else. It's your fault. It's your fault. This happened, that happened. You did this, you did that. Always blaming somebody else. And then after a while, you got to sit back and be like, like Steve Harvey said. I love Steve Harvey. Not everybody's going to tell the same lie. How is it that four people are saying the same damn lie about you? Oh, you all that together? You got it all that way together, and ain't nobody else, lying. Ain't nobody else. What's going on with that? How's that possible? You ever know anybody like that? Everybody, it's your fault. They did this to me. They did this to me. All right, you are working on your fourth marriage. Like, I know better. I know better. You're working on your fourth marriage. How is it everybody else's fault? Did you look in the mirror and realize, like, what happened with the first one? Did you reflect? What happened with the second one? Did you reflect? The third one, now you're on the fourth one. Everybody telling that same damn lie. Craziness. I don't know. I know better. You won't catch me. I learned my lesson. You will not catch me. I'm telling you. I ain't gonna blame nobody else. Hell, I blame myself today. You are dead wrong. You know damn well you ain't got no business being wrapped up in no relationship as picky as you are to this day. I already told y'all about how I am in the club and shit. You ain't gonna see me doing nothing until all my bills are paid. Now that's just that. That's bills being paid. Let's talk about my environment. I ain't gonna be happy until my environment and my surroundings and my car and my everything is the way that I want it to be. I'm not gonna subject myself to no bullshit because I've done that before in the past. And then when you subject yourself to some bullshit, now you want to sit here and point fingers and blame everybody else? No, no, you did that shit. I had to look at myself and say, no, you did that shit. Stop blaming this person. Stop blaming that person. You did that. You invited them MFers into your situation. You allowed them to shit all over your environment. And now you want to sit here and look angry and be upset at somebody and blame somebody? Ain't nobody twist your arm and told you to allow this shit to happen. People need to stop pointing fingers at other people and listen. A whole year later, a whole year and a half later, I finally got it. I finally got it in life. Like, okay, listen, you've been on this planet all this time, running around here blaming people, expecting some sympathy from some of these people when you're the one who caused this shit. Um, Listen, you know anybody out there that's still running around blaming everybody else? How many people they said the same damn story? 6 people, 7 people, 8 people telling the same damn lie. Steve Harvey said, "Not everybody gonna tell the same lie." You can't sit here and say that 4, 5, 6, 7 people done did you wrong, and they all telling the same damn thing. I had to look at myself and say, "Wow, damn." You can sit here and say, out of all of the situations you've been in, majority of them, they ended in somebody cheating. Now I could sit here and be like, "Oh my God, oh they all cheated on me," which I have said that in the past. That ain't right. Because when those signs came, when those flags popped up, when those situations popped up where somebody gave you that inclination that they ain't feeling you, it ain't right. It's time to go. You didn't you didn't pack your shit. You didn't make them pack their shit. You just went along with the plan. And we talked about that before. People who stay in situations just because. Oh shit. And this is some ignorant stuff. Valentine's Day is coming up, so I'm like, I just want to be in a relationship, so I'm not by myself. How stupid is that? I feel so sorry for the people who are struggling and don't mentally have it together to where they fall into some sort of depression because they're not in a relationship during the holidays, or I'm gonna be alone for Christmas. You let people get you hyped up to that bullshit if you want to, that you have to be wrapped up into a relationship. You don't have to be wrapped up into a relationship when you know who you are. You came into this world by yourself. You're going to leave here by yourself. Stop letting everyday life situations and what goes on in this world and what you see on TV and what you see on, here on radio and all this crazy stuff and the music that is being pumped into your system to allow you to believe that you can't live without somebody. Now, one of my favorite songs is I Never Want to Live Without You. And I listened to the Queen of Hip Hop Soul go through that, and I heard the pain on the My Life album with that. And I was stuck right there too. But as I listened to it today, I listened to it with a different ear. And I'm like, there was a point where you sat there and said that you never want to live without somebody. And the minute that they decided to walk out the door, you were crying. And I always joke and say crying like Jodeci and rolling around on the floor and can't get it together. That's sad. That's some sad situation. Like I could actually look back, the older me could look back at the younger me and say, man, what the fuck were you thinking? What were you thinking? And this started back when I was damn near 16 years old, first dating somebody, that these situations continue to carry on. How does this happen? Where does this come from? Who did you see go through this shit as a child? How does it wrap up into your life here today? Why is it trickling? Why is it progressing? Why is it getting worse? Why is the same situation repeating itself, relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship? No self-love. Nobody taught you self-love and how to love yourself the right way, to where all of a sudden you feel like you got to meet somebody else to make you whole. That's some ignorant mess too. You make me whole. Excuse me? Somebody you're giving somebody else that much power to make you whole that you say that? And the minute that something go wrong, now what, you a half or something? Come on now. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I want y'all to talk to me. I see you out there. I want y'all to say something because y'all are just quiet tonight. Freestyle sessions. We are going in on these questions here tonight. Now I got something for you. This is a problem. This is a real. What's going on out there on TikTok? This is a problem. You can't help a person because they can't seem to help themselves. And I'm enjoying my minimalist lifestyle. I don't talk too much about it. I talked about it before, but I'm enjoying it now. For those of you that don't know what a minimalist is, you basically have everything that you need in life. And once you got all your bare necessities, that's it. You don't try to do too much. You don't try to have too much. And the reason why I decided to live my life the way it is today is because there's certain things that I want to do and certain places that I want to go. And I can't go to these certain places and be who I want to be if I have all this stuff holding me down. I've had so many things holding me down all my life. I was just like this, you know, job, relationship. You got kids that you have to deal with. You have this obligation. You got this charity over here. You got everything. I just was like, what the? Can I put on any more bullshit on me to drive me fucking crazy? Because that's exactly what I did. Put all this shit on me trying to be Superman and damn near drove myself crazy. So after I was shaking all that shit off, you get dead off of you. You can get the fuck out of here. You can go away. You know, this situation is good. I only got time for maybe like five things. Five things in my life that I got time for, and I got rid of all of the other bullshit. And with that comes materialistic things too. Like, I don't need 7 coats, 8 coats. I don't need 30 pairs of shoes. I really don't. I mean, do I really need 20 pairs of jeans? Mm-mm. If I didn't wear it within the last 30 days, then I don't want it. That's how I live my life today. And let me tell you, it's to be said for someone who can live like this, because not everybody can live like that. I feel great. I feel so much better that I got all of this baggage up off of me and I could just go ahead and live my life the way I live. To this point, it's just very bare minimal for me. I want everything just nice, neat, clean. Don't have too much clutter. Can't be bothered with it. So I don't know how you live your life, but have you ever been linked to somebody or been friends with somebody who just has a little bit of problem with maybe spending habits, a little bit of an issue with maybe like the word, can't stand it, but hoarding, wanting to have just a little bit too much? Hmm, you can't pay your bills, struggling to make it happen, struggling to make it work. You might be always borrowing and asking somebody for something. But why do you got 30 handbags? Why do you always have the latest shoes that come out, but can never seem to keep your cell phone on? The necessities that you need. Some people don't even have enough money to go back and forth from work. This is some crazy shit that I understand and see. Hair always done, nails done, everything big, but you can't get to them from work. Priorities ain't where they need to be. You hoarding the wrong things in life. You ain't hoarding your money. I mean, because if you hoarding your money, then you're gonna be on point. But you hoarding materialistic things. You might be hoarding, status. You might be just doing a little bit too much. Do you know anybody like that? Don't leave me out there hanging, y'all. I'm just saying. And I know it ain't easy. It's not easy. But hell, we trying. I can't help you because your crazy ain't gonna drive me crazy. I done tried. I done damn near died. We done went through this whole journey trying to show people a different side of life. That's a good way to do it. Try to show people a different side of life. Because back in the day, it was try to show people how to do it my way. That's not cool. It's just so not cool trying to make people conform to the way you do things. Because that would be just so, now that I look at it, that'd just be so wrong. Can you imagine if everybody did everything the way you did it? What the world would be like? It would just be so boring. And when you just get so caught up in yourself and your mind, you don't even understand what type of monster or situation you might be trying to create. I'm so glad I got it together today. Now, I got a question, and I thought about this. For all of the people who might have been incarcerated, it's rough, especially now during the holiday season. You want to be with family and everything. Maybe something just happened. Do you think it's right when you don't tell the children what really happened to either their mother or their father? And it's not just the men neither. I want people to understand that the ladies, sometimes y'all create some crimes too that ain't right. I know plenty of people out there who are raising children and the daddy is raising a child. But what is that conversation like when it comes to telling these little toddlers when they grow up to be young little boys and girls that, what happened to your mom? Where they at? What happened to their dad? What's going on? You're never going to see them again because they've been incarcerated. How does that conversation go? Does anybody have any experience with that? Have they known anybody who've had to have those tough conversations because mommy or daddy has done something real bad to where they ain't coming back? I don't know whether it was murder or this or that, but it's to the point where now we're not even going up there to visit. We ain't sending nothing. It's a wrap. It's done. How do you break that news to the child and say, listen, your mom or your dad was this or that? Anybody have any experience with that? I want to give a very special shout out To people out there on Facebook, thank you for watching out there on Instagram. I see a couple of y'all out there. TikTok as well. Sunflower, what's going on? Let me know where you're calling from. People out there on Twitter, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, thank you so much for everybody out there watching the replays. I definitely do appreciate you. So I want to go ahead and give a little quick recap of these crazy burn questions that, we went through tonight. So what is the one thing from your past that still haunts you? I've had a response of childhood trauma. And that's real rough, and I can totally understand and relate and know where you're coming from. So what is the one thing from your past that continues to haunt you today? I've had somebody say childhood trauma, debt, poor decisions that has been made 7 years ago, 8 years ago, that's showing up today, that, man, that's still something that's still haunting you. But for those of you out there who might still feel that something is haunting you, hold tight, learn how to forgive yourself. It's easier said than done. Once you learn how to do that and forget that, whatever's happened in the past has happened in the past. We moving on. When you're able to move on, you're able to get better, and things will get better over a period of time. Now, do you know anybody out there who is a hoarder? I just basically have to say it, they're a hoarder. But they could be a hoarder in so many different ways. They could be hoarding materialistic things. How about somebody who actually hoards other people's time? They got to be around so many different people. They got to be the life of the situation. They always have to be the center of attention. They could be a hoarder in a certain way, to where they're hoarding up just people's time, energy. Ugh. You understand what I'm saying? Hopefully you do. But they almost like suck the life out of so many different people, because they need the energy from you to go ahead and make themselves feel whole. The biggest thing, of course, is, materialistic hoarding. Somebody who just hoards, somebody who shops, somebody who buys, somebody who spends, and they just do so much, and you've tried your best to try to help them. But in reality, guess what? I can't help them. I've tried, and it just ain't working. You know anybody like that, where you had to pump the brakes and say, listen, I'm not going to let your crazy drive me crazy. It's too much. I ain't going to get upset with all that craziness. I ain't going to get upset. I ain't going to let you project your BS on me. We ain't doing that today. Mm-mm. I also talked about people who are habitual liars. And this is still something that I'm still trying to figure out to this day. I don't know if we will figure it out or not. But do you think that they do it on purpose? Do they know what they're doing? And I would say anybody who's been lying as a child, I think I just come to this conclusion. Did anybody who has been lying and stuck and allowed to be wrapped up into getting away with lying since a child, and it has trickled into your adulthood, I truly do believe that they don't know what they're doing at first. I have to tell you, they might have to, I believe they might have to say, did I just say that? What just happened? Oh shit, I said this about this, and that's not reality, and I don't know. And some people that lie so much, they almost start to leave their lies. So if you've been lying since a child and getting away with it, and seeing the reaction and seeing the results of what your lies have produced, I believe that those people have a sickness. I don't know. Somebody out there who's an expert at this, somebody who knows an expert, let me know. But I truly believe that if a child has been brought up and they have been able to lie and they've been able to get away with it and they have not been corrected, and it just morphs and it manifests into something so terrible that when they become an adult, I truly believe that they don't know what the hell they're doing because they've just been allowed to get away with stuff for so long. Now, if you're an adult and you just decided to say, oh, I'm going to just go ahead and start lying, I'm going to give up on everything, fuck it, I don't care. I don't believe that you don't know what you're doing. I think you know what you're doing and you just basically just given up and you just turned into becoming a liar. That's what I believe. But there's something to be said about people who've been allowed to live a certain way as a child and get away with it. I think that that's a problem. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to these people who are habitual liars. Do you think that they know what they're doing when they do it? Also, mommy, daddy has been going for a while. How do you let them know that the mom is locked up? Daddy ain't coming home because he created this horrible crime. I don't know what it is. It could be something, the worst. Let's think of the worst: murder, crazy, crazy theft charges, whatever the case may be. They ain't coming home. Do you break it to the child? Do you think it's right to keep it away from the child? Hmm. When is the right time to speak to the child and say this is what happened? At what age do you have that conversation? Hmm. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for those of you out there who hung out there with me tonight. Freestyle Sessions, 411 Podcast. If you'd like to support the 411 Podcast or Reading Between the Wines, go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. You can go inside of Karma's Paradise exclusive and get an autographed copy of my book, My Inspirations, Volume 1.5, Deliberation Remix Journal, a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. This book is coming out on January 3rd, 2022, but you can get your hands on it now and get an exclusive Karma's Paradise t-shirt that has been crafted by the one and only CEO of Karma's Paradise, Miss K. Cole. She also has helped with the cover art for my new project, the Liberation Remix Journal, as well. So go ahead and support by clicking on that Karma's Paradise exclusive. If you'd like to get the book before anybody else, you can order it from pre-sale by texting the keyword remix to 609-738-0611. Again, that is remix to 609-738-0611. And of course, I have to thank each and every one of you out there for watching the replays, hanging out here with me tonight. I want to say what's up. What's going on, Sunflower? I want to say what's up to people out there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, Twitch. Thank you so much for your love and support. And of course, I have to thank my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all the 411 podcast one more time in life. Without him, there would be no me. Without him, there would be no you. And we wouldn't even be here doing what we do. So I have to give credit where credit is due. And I just want to say thank you. Take care, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out there with me tonight on this great freestyle session here on the 411 podcast. Good night. Good night. See y'all. Good night.